I'm here with the love of my life, Teddy, my little feral cat. Oh, I just love him so much. There's not many feral cats you can do that to, is there? All right. So I had a question from Emily W, who said, can you do a video on clothes in recovery? I bought comfortable things / oversized things to wear in the early stages of recovery, but now I want to wear jeans, etc. And I can't tolerate the feeling on my body, i.e. the feeling of skinny jeans. Digging in leads to tirades of thoughts. How can you tell if things are too small or if I'm being critical of my body and oversensitive? I did get rid of loads of too small clothes and only kept the bigger sizes and bought new sizes. I just want to wear jeans like a normal person. Well, okay, well, part of the problem could be that you're trying to wear skinny jeans which are supposed to be tight. I think they're overrated, personally. But I am definitely not the person to ask about anything to do with fashion, am I? So don't listen to my opinion on that. But in terms of what you're talking about, is it's all mental. It's all in your head. Because even if clothes are tight, well, that's just tight clothes. You don't actually have to then have a tantrum about it, do you? So that's what you need to address. You can certainly look at, well, am I wearing clothes that are too small? I think if you're doing that, then be honest about that. Are you actually trying to be a size smaller than you actually are? That's not very fair on your body, is it? It's uncomfortable. So I can't answer that question for you, but that's a question to ask yourself. Are you actually wearing clothes that are too small? Now, the other thing you said is, are you being critical of your body and oversensitive? Definitely. You're definitely being that. So that's what you really need to look at, is how do I desensitize myself to the feeling of clothes on my body? Or it should be maybe put the way around. How do I desensitize myself to the feeling of actually having a body in clothes? Because that's what that is. And I definitely remember having to go through that a bit. You know, when you get to the point where you get a bit of a muffin top over the top of jeans. That's normal, by the way. But when you have a restrictive eating disorder and you're used to being a smaller size than you should be, things like that feels different. That's just the difference, isn't it? I was not used to having a muffin top, and then I had to get used to having a muffin top, and my brain didn't like that idea very much. And I do remember one day I just looked at it and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, there are bigger things that I could be worried about. Now, obviously, I had to be a certain sort of way down the route to recovery to even be able to have that sort of thought, didn't I? But that's where I hope that most of you are going to get, is you get to the point where you start to realise you're freaking out about something, and then you just think, for fuck's sake, it's so boring. I just can't be bothered to freak out about it anymore. That is a massive sort of like revelation in recovery, at least it was for me. That was when I realised I actually have a choice here. I could just choose not to care. And that's so much easier. And I just did it. I just chose not to care. And it was so much easier. So that's sort of what you need to look at, because the thing is that not caring takes a massive degree of mental strength. It really does. It is the harder thing to do in many ways, but then the much easier thing to do once you master it. And so that's what you sort of have to set yourself as. Like, I have to train myself not to allow myself to care about these things. And then after a lot of practice, you won't even notice these things. The other part is that when our bodies change and these things like muffin tops, feeling our thighs touching, blah, 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 is new, then because it's a change from what you had previously experienced your body to be, that part of your brain that deals with homeostasis is just drawing your attention to the fact that stuff has changed. Over time, that stops happening because your brain starts to recognize your new and improved body as homeostasis. And so it all quietens down, that part quietens down on its own. But you've got neural rewiring work to do here with sort of your attitude towards feeling your body in your clothes. And when I say that, I mean getting to that point where you notice something, you notice you can feel your body in your clothes, and there is a moment there where you get to choose whether you're going to pay attention to it or freak out, or whether you're not. And The hard thing about not caring is that when you first of all try not caring, you do care a lot. And there's that part of your brain that's like really trying to freak out about it. So in a sense, what you have to do is you have to pretend that you don't care. And that becomes easy quite fast. It's a bit worrying, actually. I mean, how easy not caring can become. Don't apply it to every aspect of your life, because that would probably be its own disorder, wouldn't it? Probably is its own disorder. Anyway, so that's sort of, you need to focus on this. You need to identify, you've already identified what is going on here, but now you need to approach it with oh, I have to train my brain out of this reaction that it's having, because that's exactly what you have to do. Your brain has been trained into having a negative reaction at anything that would indicate that you've gained weight. This is something that indicates that you've gained weight, and your brain is just doing what it's been taught to do, which is to react negatively to that. And so your job now is to train your brain not to do that. And you do that by not allowing yourself to fall into that negative emotional reaction. I mean, mentally fall into it. You know, allow yourself to mentally go there and push yourself to mentally go into, I'm positive about this and I don't mind it at all, despite the fact that you don't feel positive about it and you do mind it a lot. You have to pretend that you're positive about it and you don't mind it at all, because in doing so, you start to teach your brain how you actually want it to act. Well done, by the way, for getting as far as you did. All right, bye.